Welcome, welcome, guys. Today we are talking about Bastet, which is the four-star or the A-star character that was released along with Anubis. So, without wasting any more of your time, let me make this brief and get into the video. Bastet is a melee trace character that deals shadow damage with her skills. Right? Nothing more to say about her. She's basically an A-star DPS, and she can actually output a lot of damage. She has a unique kit with her traces, and I'll get into that in her skills. So, yeah, let's dive into her skills. Alright, so a normal attack, Shadowy Claws just swipes claws at enemies dealing shadow damage and enters Divine Gain state when you hit the last attack of her normal attack. Right, I'll get into what this Divine Gaze state is when I reach her skill 3. Her skill 1 Crescent Rush just pounce forward and she deals shadow damage to enemies in form of slashes, and she grants traces whenever this skill hits. When in Divine Gaze state, this skill will also have additional effects such as reducing the enemy's shadow resistance by 20% on enemies that it hits. Right, Divine Gaze state will end immediately after this skill is cast. Her skill 2, Night Hunter, she leaps into the air and disappears for a brief period and then reappears and hits enemies in front of her, dealing shadow damage. Now, if she's in Divine Gaze state, she will stun the first enemy she hits for 2 seconds, and the Divine Gaze state will end immediately after she uses the skill. Also, she gains 1 trace whenever she uses the skill. Her skill 3, Bastet Caprice. This is where we're going to talk about her Divine Gaze state. So, when you use her skill 3, you expend 1 trace or you consume 1 trace to go from Basset Caprice and enter Divine Gaze state without interrupting the strike count of your normal attack. So, whatever combo it is you in your normal attack, you would still be in that combo when you use her skill 3. Now, when in Divine Gaze state, her skill 3 Bastet Caprice will become Goddess Execution. So basically, she will deal an AoE shadow damage with her divine power, and the Divine Gaze state will end immediately after you use this skill. Her ult has an interesting kit called Eyes of Ra. She unleashes Shadow Divine Power to cast Judgment on the enemy, dealing shadow damage to enemies in an AoE situation. Now, the ultimate increases damage to enemies or normal enemies when they have, for every 1% of HP that they have, she was going to deal 0.5% damage more with her ultimate. So this can stack up to 50%. So if the enemy is at 100% HP, she's going to do more damage with her ult. Also, if the enemy is an elite enemy like a boss, the higher the index multiplier, the higher the damage she will deal with her ultimate. When you are in modified mode, it is counted as you have the highest mod index or modifier um, state. So it will deal the highest amount of damage when in modified mode. Now her dodge skill, Feline Shuffle, is where she will not interrupt the strikes of her normal account and she will dodge enemies. Now, if you dodge at the last second and tap your normal attack 3 seconds after just triggering a dodge, you will teleport behind the enemy and you deal damage to them, shadow damage, and enter the Divine Gaze state upon hitting the enemy. Well, that's all for her skills. Alright, so her access key. Now, I don't have anything equipped there, but for her access key, there are multiple functors you can use for her. One of these is Pharaoh Inter F, which increases combat resource charge speed whenever you trigger a dodge effect, right? A Pharaoh Tatmos, which increases attack and defense whenever you attack. This I won't say is the best for her because her kit is more like an assassin where you want to strike at the enemy before you dog out, so you don't want to get hit. The 3-star Pharaoh Akhenaten is also good because it increases ultimate skill damage by 40%. Right, so this will work well with her ult, being able to deal as much damage as it does. There's a 5-star free one at the Divine Variable shop, but I don't think that that is the best for her, because that one it increases the damage for every portion or 1% of the combat resources used. Now, Bastet only has 2 traces, so that will not work well for her because she doesn't have so much combat resources. For Sigils, there's quite a bit to unpack, but let's dive into it. So, in slot 1, 3, and 5, you want to use Sigils, either Dark Plague or Ejudnia. Um, I hope I have something here. So I don't. Okay, I have Ejudnia. This is Ejudnia. You want to use slot 1, 3, 5 to be Ejudnia, because you gain a stack of shadow which increases your shadow damage each time you use a skill or you cast an ultimate, and this can stack up to 5 times. Right? So each time you use a skill or use an ultimate, you gain 1 shadow which increases the shadow damage you deal by 4%. Right, you can gain more shadow damage if you get hit by the enemy, but that's beyond that's not how her kit is supposed to be played. The second one that can be used here is Dark Plague, and this is the one that I highly recommend because um it increases shadow damage. It increases shadow damage by 10%, right, and deals an addition of 3% of your attack plus a fixed amount damage that ignores defense when you're dealing shadow damage to the enemy. So this is the best in slot for her in slot 1, 3, and 5. You want to use Dark Plague. Another one you can consider here is Scale of Math, because it increases ultimate skill damage by 30% and increases your overall damage when you have the maximum measured stack by 12%. So in total, you're getting 42% damage to our ultimate and 15% to 9% to the attack, because there's 3% for each stack and it stacks up to 3 times. So this is one you can consider, but Dark Plague to me is the best in slot for this slot 1, 3, and 5. Now for slot 2, this is where you want to use traces. You either want to use Ocean of Decree, which is the sigil that came with Oceanus, because it can increase your attack anytime you gain a trace, right, for a certain amount of time, and that feels like it. Anytime you gain a trace, Bastet is going to be gaining quite a lot of trace. She can gain trace quickly with her skill 1 and skill 2, so she can increase her attack. Another one you can also use in slot 2, 4, 6 if you already have it is Moondrifter. It increases trace mod skill damage by 10%, and you have a 30% chance to gain 1 trace whenever a skill or ultimate skill attack is landed. This triggers once every 10 seconds. So this is also another solid option to pick for her. And the final one to pick is Cupbearer. So Cupbearer, whenever trace is consumed, you have a certain percent chance to regain that trace, and then you increase your attack by 18% for 10 seconds. Now this triggers once every 12 seconds, and the probability is increased by 15% for every skill or ultimate that is cast, and reset to its base value after the effect is triggered. So this is also a solid option to use for her. You can use any of the trace sigils in slot 2, 4, 6, Wave of the Decree, Moondrifter, and Cupbearer of the gods, Cupbearer of the gods. Right, you can use any one of these in slot 2, 4, 6, and you can use Dark Plague is the best in slot 1, 3, 5. Yeah, so now we're just going to be doing a short gameplay for Bastet, just to see what she can do and her damage, to how she can output her damage.
Cat begins. Go, go, let's go! Bastet hit! Assault tactic! Rest up! Bastet hit! Bastet hit! Huh? Yeah! Rest up. Huh? Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Come on. Assault tactic. Meow meow. Come on. Bastet kick. Yeah. Bastet kick. You've made this won't hurt. Yeah. Go, go, let's go! Behave yourself and come with us. That's right. Assault tactic. Meow meow. Bastet kick. That's it. Bastet kick. That's right. Yeah. Hey, come get me if you can. Rest up. You? Easy win.
That's all for this guide on Bastet. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. My Discord server is open. You can always come there and message me, and we can have a great time. That's all for this video. I'll see you guys in the next video where I'll be raising Labi. Thanks for watching.